In this video, we'll look at the Candlestick Miner tool in the WealthLab Candlesticks Extension. The Candle Miner is a systematic way to discover candlestick patterns by exhaustively scanning historical data rather than evolving patterns genetically. It allows you to control exactly how complex patterns can be and which candle characteristics are allowed. You can access the Candle Miner from the Extensions menu, the Candle Miner item. Before running the Candle Miner, it's important to understand that it uses the candlestick genes that are enabled in Candlestick Preferences. Let me open up Preferences and switch to the Candlesticks page. Only the enabled genes in this section are used when composing patterns. Notice how I have several of the genes disabled. This will result in simpler patterns with more observations rather than overly complex patterns. By adjusting these settings, you directly control the search space the Candle Miner explores. Let's switch back to the Candle Miner tool using the window menu. You can also control the maximum size of multi-bar patterns that are generated by the miner. This setting here, max pattern depth, determines how many bars the Candle Miner is allowed to combine into a single pattern. Smaller limits produce simpler patterns, while larger limits allow for more complex multi-bar formations. Once you load your dataset, the miner will scan the entire data series. I'm going to use TQQQ as our historical data. The Candle Miner divides the data into an in-sample and out-of-sample range. For the in-sample range, I have it set up till the year 2015, and for the out-of-sample, I have it going to 2016 onward. Click the Run Analysis button to begin. The Candle Miner goes through all historical bars, systematically composing candlestick patterns up to the specified bar limit, using only the enabled genes from Preferences. Each unique pattern is evaluated based on the average return after these three intervals, n-bar return 1, 2, and 3. I have it configured to return the average return after 1 bar, 2 bars, and 3 bars. Here the analysis is complete, and we can see the number of observations in each Candle Miner pattern in the in-sample data, and then when we scroll to the right, the out-of-sample data. We will only see patterns that have more observations than the minimum observation filter here. So patterns with 9 or fewer observations won't be displayed in the list. Also, patterns with fewer than 50 observations will appear dimmed in the list, as we can see with this pattern here. I'm going to sort these by 2-bar pattern return to see which was the most profitable pattern after 2 bars of data. The best pattern had an average 2-bar return of 7.49% in sample compared to only 0.33% for TQQQ overall. What if we scroll to the right and look at the out-of-sample performance? The 2-bar out-of-sample performance for this pattern was still a respectable 1.83%. It's good to see this pattern performing well on out-of-sample data as well as the in-sample range. This is a 1-bar pattern with a white body, short body, one candle where the close is above the close of 1 bar ago, a long candle, a long upper shadow, a long lower shadow, and a downtrend. So I interpret this 1-bar candle as a bullish stand against the downtrend and a potential reversal. Let's double click and see how it looks on the chart. We can go through the occurrences using this navigator. We could see that this pattern does seem to pinpoint interesting reversal spots. At this point, if we like this pattern, we can save it to our pattern library. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to right-click and say Add to Pattern Library, and I'm going to call this one Bullish Reversal Stand, and click OK. Now, when I go into the Candlestick Genetic Evolver Pattern Library, I should be able to scroll down and see our bullish reversal stand. Here it is. And if I click Evaluate, let's do it on a data set this time. Let's select the NASDAQ 100. We are now evaluating all of the library patterns on the NASDAQ 100. So we can see our bullish reversal stand has an average 10-bar return of 1.02% compared to the market average of 0.92. However, when we evaluated this, we were looking at a 2-bar return. So I'm going to change this N-bar return to 2, and I'm going to evaluate again. So over the entire NASDAQ 100, our bullish reversal stand had an average 2-bar return of 0.3% compared to the average of the overall market of 0.2. So that's quite a nice bump in average return for 2 bars. If I double click the pattern now, let's see how it performed on Amazon. So here's the most recent occurrence of the pattern on Amazon. And we can see that the 2-bar return after that indeed was quite good, and the market even continued higher after that point. To wrap things up, the Candle Miner provides a controlled, data-driven way to discover candlestick patterns, with full control over pattern complexity and composition. Continue to the next video in the playlist to learn about another feature of WealthLab's Candlesticks Extension.